friends, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel for a video that I might regret getting myself into because I am a terrible crafter. I did this video last year. It was kind of hilarious, a lot of fun, and so I'm doing it again this year. But this is where I test out possible easy DIY Christmas present ideas as a below average crafter. I would expect myself to be crafty, like I'm artistic, I really appreciate a nice aesthetic, but I just like cannot do crafts well, and it's so odd. I can't translate my brain to my hands very well. So today we're gonna be testing out 4 different possible DIY presents together, and I'll be letting you know how easy it is and if I think it's worth trying or not for you to make for your loved ones, because if I can do it, golly gee, anybody can do it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill.
So I'm going to quickly show you the 4 different DIY presents we're going to be making today, and I did order the supplies for all of these things on Amazon, and each project came to around 10 bucks or less to get all the supplies, and you can make multiple of these gifts with the supplies I ordered. First, we're going to be trying to do a DIY dip dye ombre, probably on a canvas tote. We do this on anything though, on like socks, tea towels, t-shirts, pillowcases, anything. We're gonna see if we can make this look special. Next, the one I'm probably most excited for is a marbled clay ring dish. I will be linking all of the blog posts to these down below from the actual creators because it has all the instructions and everything, and I'm just gonna be trying to follow them. But I think these are gorgeous, and I think that these are gonna be hard to mess up. So I think that this is gonna be a win-win, but I shouldn't speak too soon. We'll find out together. Next, this will either come across as really cool or really cheesy, but this is a cookie cutter stamped Christmas tea towel. So I got some Christmas cookie cutters and some blank tea towels. It was actually super cheap, and some fabric paint off of Amazon, and we're gonna try to make one of these together. And last, I actually have the lowest expectations for these because I bought pretty intricate wooden ornaments, but these are DIY fabric covered tree ornaments. The tree ornaments that I got from Amazon have some different shapes, so we'll see how well I pull these off. Let's get started. I kind of want to start with the marbled one. Okay, I hope you can see my surface well enough. I thought about trying to do this with multiple camera angles, but then editing that would take me days, so doing the best I can here with the time I have. So I got this clay off Amazon, and it says it bakes at 275 for 30 minutes, so I have the oven heating up. I'm gonna just pick a couple colors that I like. I like this light gray, maybe this blue, and this white. I feel like I need a 4th color in there too. How about this mint green? According to the blog post, I'm gonna roll these into little logs and twist them together basically into like a rope. So I have 4 logs that I'm just going to twist into one long rope and roll it into a ball, it looks like, before flattening it. They use a bottle as their rolling pin, so I'm gonna feel less ashamed in using a bottle as my rolling pin. Okay, here's what the final product looks like. That actually looks pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased. I think I like this side better. And I'm going to use this coaster to cut it into a perfect circle. We did get a little knife in our kit. Wow, they truly thought of everything. All right, now we have a perfect circle, and I'm going to try to mold it into a slight bowl shape onto the bottom of this bowl. Their final bowls aren't like super concaved, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm actually not even reading the instructions. I'm looking at the pictures. This is why I'm bad at crafts. Fun fact about me, I hate following instructions, which is why I don't like using recipes normally. I just don't like, It says put in an oven safe or like ramekin. I actually do have one. Okay, I'm gonna pray this glass doesn't explode. We have it in our bowl shape, and I'm gonna go pop this in the oven at 275 for 30 minutes. Then we will see how it worked and maybe paint the edges gold. Fingers crossed, y'all. We'll see if this is a fail or not. Let's do it. Okay, our ring holder just came out of the oven. It's still really warm, but let's see if we can get it out of this. Ooh, it looks so good. That's what the back looks like. The thing that I think makes it look so cool on the website is they have gold painted around the rim. I have this gold paint pen. It's pretty old, so we'll see how it does, but I just want to draw the gold around the rim of this. So let's see how this works. Okay, it's kind of working. Probably look better with actual gold paint, but I'm trying to keep the least amount of messiness as possible. Okay. that's what that looks like. Okay, next we're gonna try the ombre dipped dye bag because I think that's gonna be the hardest and take the longest. I got this RIT dye off of Amazon. It was really, really cheap. And according to this blog post, she just put it in like a large, almost paint bucket in her garage. She did not say anything about heating it, but I was reading the instructions. Are you proud of me? And it says during the whole dye, this has to be on the stovetop and be kept around 200 degrees. So I'm heating up some water on the stovetop, and I guess we're just gonna try it over there. For my bag, I'm using the good old High Friends tote. Do y'all remember this? I sold these on Teespring. They're actually still up for sale, but I had some High Friends different things up on Teespring a couple years ago before I started the process of Janse the Label. It's still up there because I want to have something that is, you know, super cheap for people that want to have items in their budget and in their price range, but I don't promote them very much anymore because I'm all about Janse the Label, and like that's actually my labor of love. But by tangent aside, what we're gonna do, it actually says we just need a couple teaspoons of this in the water, and we're going to almost completely submerge the bag in the water for a couple minutes and then move it up a little bit for a couple of minutes, and move it up a little bit for a couple of minutes, and then move it up a little bit for the last couple of minutes, and then rinse it and let it air dry, and then later we could wash it, but just to see what it looks like. So let's do it. Let's go over to the stove. Okay, my water's heating up. I think it's inevitable that this is just going to be messy. I'm gonna shake this, it says. I'm gonna try to keep this away from my white sweater. We're just gonna add a very, very small amount into here. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm gonna give this a stir. That nice, I think indigo is a very pretty, almost like naturally derived looking color. Look at that water. Okay, so hard part's gonna be keeping this at the correct levels. Let's just submerge this pretty far down in there. That's almost completely submerged, and I'm gonna hang out here for a couple minutes until it's time for us to move this up and out a little bit. This is where it's gonna get tricky. It's been a couple minutes, and I wanna try to remove a little bit of this out of the water. So now the hope is that this will stay lightest and the next couple inches will be darker and the last couple inches will be darkest. So I'm gonna give this a couple more minutes to let the next part get even darker. Okay, I think it's time for me to move it up the next little bit. A little bit nervous. Oh wait, that didn't really make a difference. Okay, I'm gonna leave this next little bit for extra long then. It's been a few more minutes and I actually ended up adding a splash more dye. Let's see if we can see a difference. Oh, okay, I can actually see a small difference. A little bit further, repeat the process, and I'm actually gonna add a splash more dye again, just to make it more concentrated. I want it to be subtle, but I want it to be noticeable that it's ombre. Okay, the last hurrah. Just the bottom. The hard part is going to be rinsing this without getting the color everywhere. So I think that we're supposed to rinse it in warm water and then cold water until it runs clear and then hang it to dry. So after this, we're gonna, I think, take it over to the sink and I'm gonna just try to wash it from top down so that the least saturated color can only drip to the most saturated color. We'll see if that works. Okay, here comes nothing. Remove this. Whoa, it got so dark. Okay, warm water. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. Hang this up here to dry. I can't wait to see what that looks like when it's all done and dry. And oh, so far that's working out so much better than I was expecting. The next thing we're gonna try to make are these little fabric wrapped ornaments. And as I said, I'm a little bit nervous because the blog post picture ornaments look like this. Just very simple, almost like a little triangle. Whereas my little wooden ornaments look like this. A little more intricate. I wish I could just wrap it in fabric, but I'm sure I can't, so I think I'm gonna have to trace it, which I'm very bad at tracing and cutting things. One cool thing is I did find this pack of fabrics on Amazon for only a couple bucks, I think, and there's a ton of different really cool floral patterns, so I thought it'd be fun to do some floral pattern ornaments. I would like to try to do 2, but let's start with 1 and see how it goes. Yet again, I haven't read the instructions. I guess I should do that. Are there instructions? Well, it just says covered ornaments using fabric, Mod Podge, and little tree ornaments you can find at the store. All right, gonna just run with that. We're gonna start with the pin method. I'm just gonna try my best, trace around this, and I might leave the top just wooden. Okay, let's cut that and let's see what happens. Okay, so let's see how these line up. Oh, that's not that bad. I might start with brushing a little bit of Mod Podge on the actual wood, and then I think I'm gonna coat it in Mod Podge so that it has like a shine to it. Let's start with brushing just a little on here. It'll help it stay when we line it up too. And now I'm gonna just try to position our fabric. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look great. Like Mod Podge over it. Okay, so that was probably the simplest concept. This still has to dry and we'll tie the little ornament string through it. Simplest concept, but actually so far the most difficult for me because I have terrible cutting skills. We'll see how it looks once it's dried. I was gonna do a couple fabrics, but cutting that took way too long, so we're gonna do one. Okay, our ornament is dry and it's time to tie our little string around it. It's looking not great. I think I wanna try tying it like this and like this. There's our ornament. Okay, so next is the tea towels. This is everything I found on Amazon. I have a set of 2 tea towels. So maybe we could do one of a couple different cookie cutters, but these are great. These are just classic white, linen-y kind of feeling tea towels. These actually feel really nice. Super simple. Then some of the only fabric paint I could find is actually this like puffy paint. I can't decide if I want to puffy paint straight onto the cookie cutters or pour a ton of this like onto a plate and dip the cookie cutter. Kind of leaning towards dip, though I don't really know how it'll work out. But lastly, I found this set of cookie cutters. It has 3 different Christmas trees, 3 different snowflakes, and 3 different bells. I think that the small little Christmas tree and the small little snowflake would be super cute on the towels. So I'm gonna move you over my shoulder, and I think I'm not gonna cover the whole towel, but maybe just a couple in the center of the towel so that it's not overwhelming. And I think I'm gonna pour this puffy paint into a small bowl, which might be a bad idea. I'm gonna use one of those glass ramekins again because I have so many of them. Here's our setup. This might take forever. Okay, we'll see how this works. Gonna dip in my little snowflake, try to get it completely covered. Trying to clean up the thicker parts. Okay, here goes nothing. Good thing we have 2 towels. Okay, well, it's not great. It's not terrible. Neither was the blog post though. The blog post didn't look perfect. Oh, that looks better. These kind of don't read as snowflakes. I'm excited to do the trees. This is a very easy. It's not gonna look perfect, but it's hard to mess up, you know? A good one for kids. All right, well, there's one. Now let's try the Christmas tree. Now let's do the tiny little Christmas tree. Trying to get all the parts covered. Here goes nothing. The first one's the scariest, I don't know why. Prang. Okay, that worked. Ooh, I think I like the Christmas tree better. Definitely reads more Christmas, that's for sure. 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! Okay, now these just have to dry also, and then the final reveal of all the projects at once. And we can assess what was the easiest, what turned out the best, and what we think we would be most likely to actually want as Christmas presents. Now for how they turned out and how easy it was, just my overall ratings. First, the ring holder. This was super easy, kind of foolproof, hard to mess up, and it turned out super cute. Also very affordable. With that pack of clay, you could make a dozen gifts for friends. So I really love this, and I would love to get this as a gift. I think I would want my little initials in the center. I don't have good handwriting, but maybe if you're making this and you have good handwriting, it would be good to put initials in the center. But here's a close-up of the final product. That's how that looks. And it holds the ring so nicely. Next, the ornaments. In theory, is super simple, but honestly, it just looks cheap. I don't really like it. Maybe if you had some really cool vintagey fabric, and maybe if you got a shape that was a little bit easier, kind of like the blog post. I thought the blog post ones turned out super cute, but this just looks cheap. I think that this could be a really good thing to maybe, if you were giving, say, your teachers something small and edible, like those little cute hot chocolate packs or something similar to that, to wrap around this and write their name on it, almost like a name gift tag that could double as an ornament. But I think as a gift itself, not the best. That's what it looks like up close. Don't mind my super bad cutting skills. It probably would have been cute in a set with a couple more flower prints, but I got fed up with the scissors. Next is the tea towel. This is how that turned out. I'm showing you the Christmas tree one because I liked it so much better than the snowflake one. Super easy, hard to mess up. A really cute small gift. Again, I think it would be really cute if you had good handwriting, maybe with the puffy paint to write, like, say if someone was giving this to me, to write like the Smith household established 2019 or whatever, to personalize it a little bit more. But just these linen towels from Amazon were so affordable and they feel so nice. I think that the concept is really good, really easy, hard to mess up, and I would be honored to get this as a gift. Here's a close-up for how the little trees look stamped. I do think it'd be cutest with a name. And last but not least, this isn't fully dry, but it's mostly dry. Here's our ombre dipped bag. I think it looks so cool. This was actually so much easier than I was expecting. I do think it helped to add more dye as I went down. It kind of sped up the process too. I love how it has almost like a mountainous look. And it'd be really cool if you had like some sort of sentimental tote bag, like if you're giving it to your high school friend and you had an old high school bag or something. I don't know, do high schools give tote bags, book bags? If you went to a concert with them and you have a concert concert little souvenir, whatever, to personalize it, take it a step above. I would love to get this. This, I feel like out of all these things by far, feels the most expensive and was very cheap. I'll link some canvas bags that were really cheap on Amazon as well if you wanted to do a blank of those. I love this. I think that this is my all-time favorite. So in order, I would say first place, the ombre bag, second place, the ring holder, third place, the tea towel, and fourth and final place is the ornament. But this was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing it with me and trying these crafts. Yeah, I'm a pretty crappy crafter. We all know it by now, but you know what? It's fun to try. And so if I could do a couple of these things, you can do a couple of these things, because trust me, a 3-year-old could do these things if I could do them. Hey, there you go. Maybe an activity to do with your child. You're welcome. I love y'all. Merry Christmas. I'm hoping that this gave you a couple last minute little Christmas ideas, because Christmas shopping gets so expensive and is so hard to plan for. So if you're still looking for something to do and for something to be sentimental and handmade, hopefully this is helpful. I love y'all with my absolute whole heart, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.
I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I miss